Suzy Wrong, Joy Drive with Dee and Warren's film, TV and theatre reviewer.
Suzy Wrong, good to have you back.
Good to be here.
You've just been likened to Jessie's girl. I don't know.
I don't know what the lyrics are about. What does it say?
They're probably going to be
They're
cancelled.
complimentary.
Oh, yes, I'm sure.
Very complimentary.
They're not like Jolene or something.
It's never what you think with music, is it?
Suzy, we're talking about All My Friends Are Racist on ABC iView. Do you want to give us a bit of an overview of what it's about?
The ABC and iView series, All My Friends Are Racist, consists of 5 very short episodes, about 12 minutes each, with 2 rich kids as its lead characters, both indigenous and both outrageous. The story begins with them achieving internet fame after having their list of racist friends' names exposed online. Belle and Casey are in their early 20s, as is the series creator Enoch Melangi, who brings a refreshing and pertinent point of view to our screens. Although slightly lacking in maturity and polish, there is no mistaking the energy and conviction in what is being presented. The show is unapologetically black and queer. It is highly irreverent, thoroughly absurd. It does not pander to any conceptions of a mainstream audience, and in its very modern way, speaks directly to the marginalized communities that it represents. Directed by Bjorn Stewart from the now cancelled ABC series Black Comedy, notions of whiteness are interrogated unabashedly, which means many viewers will find it an uncomfortable or even unsatisfying experience. Although I found that some of the performances were overly forced, that they could have trusted the clever writing a little bit more, there is no question that its, shall we say, woke approach to identity politics is very up my alley. Some might call it offensive, but it is my opinion that that is the only way to get your point heard in the year 2021. I don't think All My Friends Are Racist is made with middle-aged white people like Dee and Warren in mind, but I could be wrong.
Dee, Suzy, can I just say, while you were talking then, Dee and I were looking at each other and we were doing analingus to each other. We were pretending to do it.
Oh.
Is that the word?
That's the word, because that's what they do on the show.
We weren't, just FYI. But I got to that particular scene and I was like, oh, I can't watch this.
I thought it was hilarious.
It's a good point, though. It's a good, you can watch something and appreciate that. Isn't this great that these young queer and people of colour are writing and directing and starring in something that I have no interest whatsoever in, like at all. But it's not made for me. I can appreciate that. I can't think what it would have likened it to a generation ago, but I found it so incredibly grating.
Yeah, I think, I was thinking maybe it feels like when I'm trying to watch Seinfeld and you feel like,
yeah, okay.
What the hell is going on? Like, why are people so crazy about this? But this is something that we're learning now in 2021, in the BLM age, that not everything is about you and not everything is to cater to you.
Yeah, I quite liked it that I had no interest in it and that it got up and it got scripted and written and picked up by iView.
Yeah, because 5 or 10 years ago it would be impossible to get this up.
I agree with you. I was watching it, and when that scene came on that we just described before, I couldn't stop giggling at it. I just thought it went on and on and on, and it was quite funny. And I think when you actually see it happening, and I don't want to spoil it, but you see this, the makeup artist did a really good job on the guy's mouth. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
Look, I thought it was. You know what I'm talking about, Suzy, don't you? You got that.
Oh, it's so memorable and familiar.
I was thinking that too, but it's refreshing not to see, I guess, the same stuff on TV, and I couldn't help but think also of The Unusual Suspects that we reviewed with you as well. It's nice to see different people on our screens, and I really enjoyed it. At first, I was a bit apprehensive, and then by the end of it, I watched the whole series in one night.
Yeah, I mean, it helps that it is so short,
Yeah.
You kind of don't have to commit too much to it. Like, I liked politically what it was trying to do. I understood sort of the angle that it was trying to get into the discussion at. But certainly a lot of the comedy I found a little bit forced for me. But I really appreciated that these young people had a voice and they were talking about things that we've been trying to wrestle with for generations, and I think they've come at it at a different methodology, and that's really worth our attention.
It feels like sort of like one big 15-minute TikTok or something. Like it feels like
it's a
it's
bit
all,
like that.
Yeah.
Let's close the gap and decolonize. I took that from it.
Yeah.
I thought that was
and there's a lot of stuff about assimilation that we never we've never seen on TV a lot, that a lot of people of color in this country and, many other maybe European countries, where we're kind of assumed that we have to do things a certain way, and then we kind of don't call it assimilation. And assimilation means that we have to sort of pretend to be something else so that other people can be comfortable in our presence. And I think that just having little things like that being sort of brought out and sort of spelled out for the audiences, I think is worthwhile.
Something that I really liked is the reconciliation action plan officer jumping on the desk with a megaphone in the corporate office and just yelling out, you're all on effing stolen land. And I thought, that's a really good way for an officer to get their point across. I thought it was refreshing. It completely took my mind off COVID and off everything else last night, and I watched it, and it was like meditating as far as I'm concerned.
Anything that gets the kids to think politically and think about acceptance and stuff like that is I'm on board.
And I've got a sore tongue.
Oh, geez.
What?
Don't. He's back on the analingus. Sorry.
Well, on the salad tossing.
The salad tossing. I thought it was quite funny, Susie. What's our homework for next week?
We are revisiting the case of homosexual serial killer Dennis Nilsen in the Netflix documentary special Memories of a Murderer, the Nilsen Tapes. I love this genre of Netflix, criminal documentary, and I cannot wait to talk about with you about it.
So
Nilsen
Memories
Tapes.
of a Murderer on Netflix.
That's right.
Thanks, Susie. When will we see you next?
See you next Tuesday. Thank you.